Hey everybody, how you doing? Coach Troy here. Now this video is just going to be a quick little channel check-in. So basically, some of the stuff I've been going over recently, obviously the big news was the Pac-Man style 2600 plus, the Namco and Atari working together, getting those licenses to get that system out, get a new version of Pac-Man out, which I have ordered and I'm waiting for that to get here. I'm excited about that. But I also reviewed the other games that are being re-released. We got, Galaga, Xevous, and Dig Dug. So I did some reviews on those 7800 versions of those games, not the 2600. Those are all the 7800 versions. So if you're interested in those, go ahead and check out those videos. I also did reviews on Tiger Heli not too long ago, and I just put one out for Super Circus Atari. I was going to do those back to back because I ordered them at the same time and got them. But the Namco news with Atari kind of put a hold on that Circus Atari review, but I did finally get around to doing that, and I just put that out. So, and I'm a little slow on making the videos. It's the editing. But I did finally. I've taught myself how to use my MacBook instead of my PC, so I'm going to be using that now, and it seems a lot faster. So, hopefully, I'll be able to do more videos. Maybe we'll see. A little more on that later. Yeah. So that being said, funny thing, right after I put out that review for Dig Dug, I actually had my gallbladder taken out. So I got Dig Dug pretty much. What they do is it's laparoscopic. They stuck hoses in me, robot arms to cut it out, but they also had to fill up my stomach with air, with gas, so that they had enough space to get in and work around and take my gallbladder out. So I've actually got 4 holes in my stomach right now, recovering from that. So that's a good time. But yeah, I totally got dig dug. So I thought that was funny. So I definitely now feel I know what it feels like to be a Figar. All right. I know what it feels to be a Puka. Though that's rough times. I feel really bad for them. I don't know if I can play Dig Dug the same again, just knowing what he's doing to those poor underground creatures. Rough times, man. I'm also going to be having another surgery coming up in November. I'm going to be having my left shoulder worked on. I got my labrum needs to be stapled up and my bicep tendon. So this right here is going to be worthless for at least a month. After that, the recovery is going to take at least 6 months to get kind of back to a little bit of normalcy. So that will probably put a damper on some of the videos I'm doing. So we'll see how that goes. I'm hoping that the recovery is nice and quick and easy. And during that time, I got to figure out games that I can play with one hand. I'm gonna have to set up a station, maybe just maze games where I can sit in my chair, maybe have the joystick and play that way and whatnot. That's got to be. So maybe I'll do a list of games that you can play one-handed with the proper setup. Like that'll have to be something right there. Other than that, maybe I'll be playing Nintendo Wii. If you got any with the Wii mode, that could be a one-handed stuff. I know a lot you can play one-handed there, so I'm going to need some suggestions. And speaking of that, games that I have been playing. All right, so these are the games that I have actually been playing myself and working my way through. I've very, very, very slowly been working my way through Resident Evil 4 on the Wii. So I need to finish that up before I get that surgery. So hopefully, next month I'll get that done. It'll be perfect, right? Next month being in October, spooky season. But I have been enjoying it. I actually really like the aiming and firing shooting system with the Wii and Resident Evil 4. Got some guilty pleasures in there with House of the Dead and whatnot, and Umbrella Academy. Not Academy, sorry. The other Umbrella game, Chronicles. That's the one. But outside of that, on 7800, obviously I've been playing a lot of Circus Atari, so I've had a lot of fun with that. Well, I will say, Atari, if you can figure out how to make a wireless paddle that doesn't have lag, it's got to be done. If you can figure that out, I would be so happy, because the wires in the other paddle there, they always get in the way, they tangle up and on the ground. I feel like I'm always dropping one, and I just feel like I'm going to break my paddle. So, Atari, if you really want my money, by all means, please make a wireless paddle that works well. Thank you. Other than that, outside on the 2600, Mountain King, I've been playing a bunch of lately. Mountain King. I am not good at it. I'm working. I'm getting better at the controls because that jumping is something else. So I want to get efficient in Mountain Kings. I really like the music. I think the sound is great on there, which, you know, it's another idea of video I've been wanting to do is best music on the Atari 2600. So I might do something like that in the future. Yeah, speaking of future videos that I'm going to be working on next month, it's Halloween, right? It is my favorite season. I love Halloween. It's my favorite holiday by far. I always like to do something special for that. So I I think I'm going to make a listing of ranking the games by ghosts. So I'm going to make a video ranking games by ghosts on the Atari 2600. So I don't know. I've got a few of them in there. I don't think there's 10 games ago, so I can't do a top 10. But at least not 10 that I own. But there's a few in there. So there's definitely going to be some padding. You'll see it, but whatever. I think it'll be fun to do that list, as well as I think I'm going to do a video on just a bunch of my favorite games on different systems as well. Since I'm playing, Resident Evil 4 on the Wii, that'll probably be in there, as well as some more recent and just, throughout games that I've enjoyed that have that horror theme to them. And I haven't really touched on it, but I've been kind of looking at that Game Station Go. That looks really pretty interesting to me. The Game Station Go, I mean, a little put off by getting it because of the Game Station Pro had such bad controllers, and it's not a bad machine. I don't know. It's just, I actually, I know it gets used for emulation a lot, and I don't know who would do something like that, but but the control is so bad, and so I worry that a handheld device with all those controls hooked up to it might not work so well, and that would just be a huge disappointment. Plus, for just usually for handheld stuff, I've been sticking with the DS. I got, I think it's almost the perfect handheld device is the Nintendo DS. Some of the retro games on there are not great, though. Namco Museum is alright. I should maybe do a little thing on that, but I just don't know how to record the footage properly to make it look halfway decent. What are you going to do? And then on my other channel, I do love the video games. I play them a lot. That's a big thing. But obviously, you can tell my other big love is board games. And so on my other channel, I do a lot of board game stuff. And I did a couple fun lists of the top 10 best and worst looking board game covers. So not really talking so much about the games themselves, but just kind of having fun with the covers. The worst looking ones is probably a more fun video if you're interested at all. I think it was kind of fun to do. And also, in honor of Halloween on that channel, I'm going to be doing some more game reviews, as well as maybe some suggestions, top 10 lists. I don't know if I'll do a top 10 list. I already did one. I did several Halloween-themed game stuff, but I'll probably do something more of that, as well as some scary story stuff. So if you get chills by the sound of my voice, you might be interested in some of those as well. And of course, if you want to see more videos about my cats, that's where they are. I usually send out 1 or 2 short videos involving those stupid little creatures every week. So if you're interested in all in that, check out my other channel. Anyway, that's where I'm at. That's what I've been doing, what I've been up to, and what I plan on doing. But of course, we'll see how everything goes. This is Coach Troy. Thanks for listening to me ramble, and I'll see y'all next time. You are just going to make this thing impossible, aren't you? Jesus. What am I going to do with you?